The cabin lights dimmed slightly as the plane taxied down the runway, but Dylan Harper's world was already a storm of chaos. His 2-year-old son, Tommy, wailed in his arms, tiny fists clutching at Dylan's shirt as if the world might swallow him whole. Before Dylan could soothe him with a whispered lullaby, a sharp voice sliced through the first-class cabin. "For God's sake, can't you control that kid? Some of us paid for peace, not a gay dad's drama show." Dylan froze, his heart pounding like a drum in his chest. Why did it always come back to that? He was just a father, holding his son through a meltdown, yet here it was again, the judgment, the assumption that his love for Tommy was somehow less valid because he was gay. He glanced up to see a middle-aged woman in the seat across the aisle, her face twisted in disdain, her husband nodding beside her as if this were some righteous crusade. "People like you shouldn't even have kids," she hissed, loud enough for the surrounding passengers to shift uncomfortably. Dylan's mind raced. Should he snap back, defend his right to exist in this space, or swallow the bile rising in his throat? For Tommy's sake? The flight attendant, a young man named Mark, approached with a forced smile, but his eyes betrayed irritation. "Sir, perhaps you could take the child to the lavatory? We're trying to maintain a calm environment here." Inside, Dylan seethed. Maintain calm? As if Tommy's cries were a personal attack. He thought of the adoption process, the endless scrutiny from social workers who probed his sexuality like it was a flaw. "I'm a good dad," he muttered under his breath, rocking Tommy gently. But doubt crept in. Maybe they were right. Maybe single gay fathers like him were always one meltdown away from being labeled unfit. He pulled out his phone discreetly, starting a video recording. If this escalated, he'd need proof. The woman leaned over, her voice dripping with venom. "Look at him, pretending to be a parent. It's unnatural." Her husband chimed in. "Yeah, and in first class? Who do you think you are?" Dylan's thoughts swirled into a vortex of anger and hurt. He remembered his own father's rejection when he came out at 18. "No son of mine will live like that." Now, here he was, proving he could build a family on his own terms, only to face this. Tommy's cries softened as Dylan hummed softly, but the damage was done. The attendant hovered, suggesting again that Dylan relocate to economy. "It's policy for disturbances," Mark said, though Dylan knew better. He'd flown this route a dozen times without issue. Was it the rainbow pin on his jacket? Or just the sight of a man nurturing a child that unnerved them? As the plane lifted off, the tension thickened. Dylan's inner monologue turned bitter. Why fight for acceptance when it's handed out like scraps? But for Tommy, he'd endure. He glanced at the couple, memorizing their faces, the woman's pearl necklace, the man's gold watch. They'd regret this. Little did they know, Dylan wasn't just any passenger. He was the CEO of a major tech firm that partnered closely with this airline. But revenge wasn't his style, not yet. Instead, he focused on Tommy, whispering promises of a better world. The flight dragged on, punctuated by glares and murmurs. By the time they landed in New York, Dylan's resolve hardened. He wouldn't let this slide. Not when it chipped away at his soul, reminding him how fragile his place in society felt. Exiting the plane, Dylan carried Tommy through the terminal, his mind a whirlwind of what-ifs. What if he reported them? What if it backfired, painting him as the aggressor? He stopped at baggage claim, spotting a handsome man in a pilot's uniform watching him curiously. The man, Ethan, as his name tag read, approached with a genuine smile. "Tough flight? I saw the commotion from the cockpit feed. You handled it well." Dylan's heart skipped, not just from the kindness, but from the spark in Ethan's eyes. For the first time that day, he felt seen not as a gay dad, but as a person. They chatted briefly, exchanging numbers under the pretense of flight feedback. As Dylan walked away, he wondered, could this be the start of something real, or just another fleeting connection in a world full of barriers? Dylan couldn't shake the encounter with Ethan as he settled into his Manhattan hotel room that evening. Tommy was finally asleep in the crib, his small chest rising and falling peacefully, but Dylan's mind was anything but calm. Why had Ethan's words lingered like that? "You handled it well." Simple, yet it pierced through the armor Dylan had built over years of isolation. As a single gay dad, romance had always taken a back seat. Who had time for love when every day was a battle against societal whispers that questioned his fitness as a parent? He stared at his phone, the video from the flight taunting him. The woman's words echoed in his head. Unnatural. It stung deeper than he admitted, dredging up memories of his ex-partner, who left when Tommy's adoption finalized, claiming the family life wasn't for him. Dylan's inner voice mocked him. You're fooling yourself if you think anyone will stick around. Yet, Ethan's number glowed on the screen. With a deep breath, he texted, "Thanks for the kind words today. Coffee sometime?" The response came swiftly. "I'd love that. Tomorrow morning, I have a layover." Their meeting at a cozy cafe near Central Park felt like a lifeline. Ethan, with his warm brown eyes and easy laugh, shared stories of his own life as a gay pilot, navigating the conservative aviation world. "It's not easy," he admitted, stirring his latte. "I've faced my share of side eyes, especially after coming out. But seeing you with your son? That's inspiring." Dylan felt a flush of emotion, pride mixed with vulnerability. He opened up about the flight, playing the video for Ethan, who frowned deeply. "That's discrimination, plain and simple. You should report it." But Dylan hesitated, his thoughts churning. What if it exposes Tommy to more scrutiny? What if the world sees me as the villain, the oversensitive gay man? As they walked through the park, their conversation deepened. Ethan confessed his fear of commitment, shaped by a family that disowned him young. "I fly solo literally and figuratively," he joked, but his eyes betrayed pain. Dylan recognized that mirror of hurt. It drew him closer. By afternoon's end, a tentative kiss brushed his cheek, sending waves of longing through him. But doubt crept in. Am I ready for this? Tommy needs stability, not another heartbreak. Back at the hotel, Dylan researched the couple from the flight. Using his tech firm's resources, he identified them. Karen and Robert Ellis, executives at a conservative lobbying firm that opposed LGBTQ+ rights. The irony burned, they preached family values while shaming his. His mind raced with possibilities. Expose them publicly? Or let it go? Ethan's text arrived. "Thinking about you. That courage on the plane? It's rare." Dylan's heart ached with unspoken fears. What if loving again means losing everything? The next days blurred into a whirlwind of stolen moments with Ethan. Dinners, walks, shared confessions. But the video loomed a ticking bomb. When Karen Ellis's firm announced a partnership with Dylan's company, the conflict hit home. His board pressured him to seal the deal, oblivious to the personal stakes. Inner turmoil gripped him. Betray my principles for business? Or fight risking my career? Ethan's support grew, but so did Dylan's anxiety. One night, as they sat on a bench overlooking the Hudson, Ethan took his hand. "You're not alone in this." For the first time, Dylan allowed himself to hope, but the shadows of doubt whispered louder. Is this real, or just a distraction from the fight ahead? The weight of unspoken truths pressed heavier on Dylan as weeks turned into months. His relationship with Ethan blossoming amid the storm. Tommy adored Ethan, giggling at his airplane impressions, but Dylan's mind was a battlefield of conflicting emotions. Every tender moment, Ethan's hand in his during late-night talks, stirred joy, yet amplified the fear. What if this happiness crumbles under society's glare? He replayed the flight incident endlessly, the Ellis couple's words carving deeper scars. People like you shouldn't have kids. It wasn't just an insult. It challenged his core identity, making him question if he deserved this family he'd fought so hard to create. Ethan noticed the shift, pulling Dylan close one evening in his Brooklyn apartment. "You're distant. Is it the video, or us?" Dylan sighed, confessing the partnership dilemma. His company was courting the Elise's firm for a major deal, one that could secure Tommy's future financially. But aligning with bigots twisted his gut. "I feel like a hypocrite," he admitted, voice cracking. Ethan's response was fierce. "Then don't. Fight them. For us, for every gay family out there." But Dylan's inner voice rebelled. Easy for him to say, he doesn't have a child depending on him. The doubt festered, turning sweet nights into restless ones, where Dylan lay awake, imagining worst-case scenarios. Losing his job, custody battles fueled by homophobic narratives. Social conflicts escalated when Dylan attended a gala with Ethan, their first public outing as a couple. Whispers followed. The gay dad with the pilot. How cliché. A colleague pulled him aside, warning, keep it discreet. Clients like the Elises are traditional. Rage boiled inside Dylan. Why must I hide to succeed? That night he confronted Ethan, emotions raw. Do you even understand? I've built everything from nothing, after my family cut me off. Tommy's all I have. Ethan's eyes filled with hurt. And me? Am I nothing? The argument hung heavy, exposing cracks. Ethan's fear of abandonment clashing with Dylan's protective instincts. Meanwhile, the Elise's influence grew. Karen posted online about traditional values, subtly referencing disruptive elements in society. Dylan's blood ran cold. It felt personal. He confided in a trusted friend, who urged action. Leak the video anonymously. But his conscience screamed. Is revenge worth becoming like them? The internal war intensified, each decision laced with anguish. Ethan's patience wore thin, leading to a heated exchange. If you won't stand up, what are we building here? Dylan's heart shattered at the thought of losing him, yet pride held him back. A turning point came during a family picnic with Tommy. Watching Ethan play with his son, Dylan felt a surge of love that drowned the doubts momentarily. I can't lose this, he thought. That evening, he drafted an email to his board, outlining the Elise's bigotry. But hesitation gripped him. What if it backfires? Ethan's gentle encouragement tipped the scale. You're stronger than you know. As they embraced, Dylan whispered promises, but the looming confrontation gnawed at his soul, emotions swelling like a tide ready to crash. Emotions crashed over Dylan like relentless waves, each one more suffocating than the last. As the confrontation with the Elises loomed inescapably, the video, once a shield, now felt like a weapon he wielded with trembling hands. Could he really destroy lives, even those who deserved it? Tommy's innocent laughter echoed in his mind, a stark contrast to the venomous emails from Karen Ellis, demanding he retract his baseless accusations or face lawsuits. You're the problem in this country, she wrote, igniting a firestorm of self-doubt. Am I the villain for fighting back, or the fool for hesitating? Ethan stood by him, but their bond strained under the pressure. We can't keep tiptoeing around this, Ethan urged during a tearful late-night call. Dylan's response was laced with desperation. What if exposing them costs me everything? Custody, my job, you? The silence that followed cut deeper than words, revealing Ethan's own wounds. I've lost enough in my life. Don't make me regret choosing you. Dylan's inner turmoil peaked. Love versus survival. Acceptance versus justice. He paced his apartment, memories flooding. The day he adopted Tommy, vowing to shield him from the hate that scarred his own youth. Now that vow clashed with the need to reclaim his dignity. The board meeting amplified the chaos. Colleagues debated the partnership, some siding with profit over principles. The Elises bring revenue, one argued. Dylan's voice broke as he played the video. This is who they are. Gasps filled the room, but skepticism lingered. Is this personal? Yes, he thought bitterly. It's as personal as my existence. Post-meeting, isolation gripped him. Even allies whispered doubts. Ethan's text arrived. Proud of you, but we need to talk. Their reunion was electric with tension. Accusations flew, tears fell. You're pulling away, Ethan accused. Dylan confessed. I'm terrified. Loving you means risking more hate. The admission hung, raw and vulnerable, drawing them closer in a desperate embrace. Society's backlash intensified when rumors leaked. Online forums debated, gay dad seeks revenge, fair or foul? Trolls targeted Dylan, questioning his parenting. His mind spiraled. Why must I prove my worth endlessly? A call from his estranged sister added fuel. Dad was right, you're inviting trouble. The rejection reopened old scars, pushing him toward despair. Ethan, sensing the breakdown, confronted him. Fight with me, not against us. Their argument escalated, emotions boiling over into confessions of love and fear. I can't lose you, Dylan sobbed, the weight crushing him. In the quiet aftermath, resolve formed. Dylan scheduled a press conference, heart pounding with dread. As he prepared, Ethan's unwavering support stirred profound gratitude and deeper love. But the internal storm raged. Is this justice, or just pain amplified? The eve of revelation found him sleepless, emotions a maelstrom, ready to erupt. The press conference hall buzzed with anticipation, but inside Dylan, a hurricane of emotions tore at every fiber of his being. Regret, fury, love, all colliding in a symphony of heartbreak and hope. As cameras flashed, he released the video, naming the Elises and their firm, his voice steady but soul-shattered. This isn't just about me. It's about every marginalized family fighting to exist. The room erupted, questions flying like daggers. Aren't you weaponizing your platform? He thought of Tommy's trusting eyes, Ethan's tender touch. How could he not fight? Yet, guilt whispered, you've ruined them. What does that make you? Backlash was swift and savage. The Elises fired back with statements decrying cancel culture, their supporters rallying online, protect traditional values. Dylan's inbox flooded with hate, each message a stab. Faggot dad destroying lives. His mind fractured under the assault. Am I a hero or a hypocrite? Ethan held him through the nights, but even their love felt fragile. We did the right thing, Ethan murmured, yet Dylan's doubts screamed. Did we? When news broke, the Elises fired from their firm, their reputations in tatters. Vindication mixed with sorrow. They got what they deserved, Dylan told himself, but the cost weighed heavy. Lost friends, threatened partnerships, and a custody review prompted by anonymous tips. The emotional apex came during a quiet dinner with Ethan and Tommy. As Tommy babbled happily, Dylan broke. I love you both, but this fight, it's eating me alive. Tears streamed as he confessed buried fears of abandonment, inadequacy. Ethan knelt, proposing with a simple ring. Marry me. Let's build our family unbreakable. Joy surged, but so did terror. In a world that shamed us, can we truly win? Their kiss sealed a promise, yet the scars remained, emotions rawer than ever. Months later, stability returned. Dylan's company thrived on its stance. Ethan quit flying for a ground role, and Tommy flourished in their home. But reflections haunted. The Elises' downfall brought justice, yet stirred unease. Was it worth the pain inflicted? The divisions deepened? Was Dylan right to expose the Elises? Or did his actions perpetuate a cycle of vengeance rather than foster true change?